Oh, The Big Lebowski isn't a good movie. Oh, The Big Lebowski's overrated. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what's up and welcome back. Yes, back to Angel's Reach as always. I'm Angel, and today it's Film Friday, baby. Now, I talked about Backrooms last week, Our Hero Balthazar the week before that. I forget what I watched before that. Sheep Detectives, I think. I haven't been to the movie theater in like a week. My grandma just touched down, and I've been spending time with her and, taking care of her, being at home and stuff like that. And so, um, and I think like watching like soap operas with her in Spanish and stuff, and just obviously talking to her. So haven't had a lot of time to go out to the movies myself. And even before that, work and stuff, not getting the right schedule. Like late night movies, really like as much as I love them, I just get home way too late to like justify that. My mom is worried about me, but what I'm not watching in theaters, I am making up for in via streaming platforms. I just saw The Big Lebowski on Netflix a few nights ago, and I've been meaning to talk about it for a while because it is one of it's such a great movie. It's such a fantastic movie. I love, love, love the dialogue in it. Now, The Big Lebowski um, is a 2 hour long movie where it's just seemingly, ironically enough, like I gotta stop talking about pacing in one battle after another, but like really I've been really noticing in movies whenever like the sequence of events goes long or short or just pacing in general, that I'm always just like, oh man, sometimes it doesn't feel like sometimes it doesn't feel like there's events happening or an overarching like plot as much as like stuff happening to a character and us seeing it from their perspective. And The Big Lebowski is the biggest form of that. Now, the actual movie does contain plot. If you are unfamiliar with The Big Lebowski, first of all, get acquainted, and second of all, come back to this video after you watch it because it's amazing. But it stars one Jeff Bridges, who plays one character named the Dude. The Dude is almost like, I saw this when Hive Mind talked about the movie, but like this sort of, there's a theory where he's essentially just like a Buddha Zen character where just life sort of happens to him and he tries to remain his best to be like neutral or just like, you know what I mean? Just let life happen to him and shit. And I, ironically enough, see myself too much in that guy. And it was actually kind of a wake up call because he's like this, like, I was gonna say 20 something year old, but probably like 30, 40 something year 30. Yeah, he's probably like a 30-year old dude. Like 30-year old, like dude who like drinks White Russians, is like in a robe all day, wears like sandals, and very like essentially a Jesus character figure, like wears shades all the time. You know what I mean? He doesn't go by his real name, Jeff Lebowski. He goes by the Dude, and ironically, that is kind of what starts off one of the problems in the main problem in the movie is the main conflict of the movie, should I say, is a case of mistaken identity. Now, Jeffrey Lebowski, aka the Dude, who I will be referring to as the Dude from now on, is essentially this no life character who just like goes bowling with his friends, drinks all the time, just hangs out at home, like lives in an apartment by himself, like little furbished except like a carpet that ties the whole room together. You know what I mean? Like nothing really much that's outstanding about him, or like anything really worthy of note for him. Like he's very much just somebody you would pass by on the street and not look back twice to. And so this character um comes to a sort of change, or presents a challenge, or life presents a challenge to him when a case of mistaken identity by an actual millionaire named Jeff Lebowski causes goons to come into his house, piss on his rug, bully him, and like shake him around. The next day, he goes to the real Jeff Lebowski, the millionaire's house, and asks for compensation for the rug because he got his rug pissed on because they thought he was him. You get this amazing Jeff Lebowski character, the millionaire, played by oh my god, I don't know fucking play. I don't care about actors and stuff like that. I really want to talk about the movie and shit, and like I always find myself like stopping and being like, oh, who directed it? I'm pretty sure the Coen brothers directed it because like every person I talked to about this, they're like, oh yeah, the Coen brothers are fantastic. So I know that, but I don't know like actors' names and stuff. Like John Goodall, I think Steve Buscemi was in this, which was fantastic. His supporting role. He didn't like steal the show or anything like that, but every time, every line of dialogue Steve Buscemi has in this is really, really funny, specific, and like it just hits every time. You know what I mean? And that's another thing I wanted to talk about: the dialogue in this movie. The writing is fantastic. The dialogue, like the way the characters talk to each other, talk over each other, interrupt. I just really, I really love it, man. I really love it. It's so naturally funny, and it reminds me a lot of how I talk with my friends and shit. And it's just like, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And that's the thing. This movie is a comedy, and it's absolutely hysterical. I think Jeff Bridges plays a fantastic main character, and just again, like shit is just happening to him after he confronts the millionaire, and then he realize he gets he understands that his wife, this trophy wife that he has, is like getting in a lot of trouble. And yeah, it's just I'm honestly, I'm trying to describe the plot, and it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? I think you should genuinely go see it because it's just a bunch of twists and turns and lefts and rights and decisions that like both the people around him and he himself decides to make, the dude. And it's just fantastic. The characters are really well written. I'm a really big fan of Walter, played by John Goodall, John Goodman or something. I don't and then again, Steve Buscemi, like I said, was fantastic. I forget the actress for Maud Lebowski, the daughter of Jeff Lebowski, not the dude. She was a fantastic, just like overtly blunt character, and it was just so like not even sexual, just like what's the word I'm looking for? Like adjacent, like lusty, you know what I mean? But I guess lust is sort of like sexual. But I mean, like, I don't know, just like enchanting, just such a like a force to see on the screen. And then like I just couldn't keep my eyes off her whenever she was on. From her like entrance, like swinging and like creating the photo, like creating the artistic expression of a vagina, to her literal dialogue, just saying the word vagina out loud, making Jeff try to be uncomfortable as possible. And Jeff, obviously, oh my God, the dude. I keep referring to him as Jeff because Jeff Bridges and also Jeff Lebowski. But um, his character just completely complements hers, his cluelessness and her just blunt knowingness of like who she is and like what she wants. And just every line of dialogue that she has delivered with such like attitude and oomph. And it's fantastic. Again, like there's so many little parts of this movie that like absolutely make it dialogue, like the beginning scene when the goons snuck into the dude's house, and they're asking him where the money is. So like, where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money? Which the iconic scene, I think. And they're dumping the dude's head in the toilet, and like every time he comes out, they're asking him. There's a line of dialogue where he's like, "I think the money's down there. You just put me back down there for a second. Let me go check it out." Like it's little things like that that just make up the dude's nonchalant character, and it's something that again I shouldn't be relating to as much in my late 20s, approaching my 30s. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't be, and I don't look up to the dude. You know what I mean? Like it's not somebody you want to be like, but the nonchalantness of it all, the just like ability to breeze through life, even like breeze through, like he's getting like beat up and like taunted and like, like yeah, just a bunch of stuff is going wrong, and just his overall nature and like the indomitable human spirit to keep going at the end is, I mean, throughout the whole movie is really incredible. Again, he's not even like a main character you want to be, or not necessarily root for or root against even. He's just like an like just an interesting character to observe, essentially a streamer. Not even that, not even a streamer, because streamers try to like put on a persona, be entertaining. The dude literally is just the dude. The dude abides. There's a clip at the end where he's talking to Sam Elliott, the narrator or whatever, and like Sam Elliott is like appreciating him and telling him like, you got some really cool stuff, dude. He's like, well, hopefully you keep cooling, hopefully you'll stay cool. And he's like, yep, that's what the dude plans to do. And the dude abides. Like it's really a, I don't know, it's not anything like it's not reinventing the wheel. Oh my God, I said that about like the last I said that about the Phineas and Ferb album that I talked about, because it's like a love letter to like a genre. It's a love letter to a character. You know what I mean? It's the dude is such like a free spirit, and to see all these insane things happen to him, it's interesting. It's interesting to see his approach. It's interesting to see like the lengths that people go through, the lines that they draw in the sand. Like one of my favorite things that Hive Mind. One of the reasons I saw this video was Hive Mind has a series on their YouTube channel called "How Did It Age," and they oftentimes talk about like older movies, and they'll say like what's it called? They say that they watch them in modern context or whatever. And so one thing that they discussed about the movie is is Walter's character and where he decides to draw the line. Like he has like a line where no, the dude has a line where he says Chinaman or something, and Walter is like immediately like, that's not the issue here. By the way, Chinaman is not the correct nomenclature. You know what I mean? Deciding when or when not to like really go off the rails, and his really impulsive, like, not even just like of lines, but just actions in general. There's a scene where there's supposed to be like a drop off because the people that allegedly kidnapped the millionaire Lebowski's trophy wife. They needed like a trade off and everything, and it gets complicated. It gets complicated, like literally. Please watch it. But there's a scene where there's a drop off that has to be happening, and the dude is supposed to go on his own, but obviously Walter's not letting that happen. He has quite an ego. He wants to be involved. He thinks he's larger than life, and so there's this whole scheme goes down, and it just gets blown up last second. Walter ends up shooting himself in the like ass with an Uzi and stuff. It's ridiculous, and just like his calm, cool, collected demeanor, despite how crazy and impulsive he is. Like, oh, the dude, it didn't work out, so no matter what, like it's fine. You know what I mean? It's just interesting the way that the characters are written and like what they represent, what they mean, sort of what they uh who they are essentially. And like it's I don't know if a character study is the right way that I would describe this movie, but I mean it's just hilarious direction and hilarious dialogue and like really fun character. But I keep saying fun, like maybe memorable is more the word. Memorable characters, intense characters, and then just like like an overarching story plot that has twists and turns that won't necessarily, I think, like keep you wondering what's next, but I mean it's just entertaining and explosive, and entertaining enough for you to keep watching. Like it's just like every couple seconds there's another line of dialogue that I was like, that's hilarious, like that's iconic, or like I gotta say that more, or even Walter having Walter referring to the dude constantly as the dude at the end, at the beginning of his like lines. They just make the lines more, I mean, personal. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. There's like a ton of little moments I could talk about here. I mean, again, Steve Buscemi too. His character from beginning to end, I think he like the idea of him getting constantly ignored, and oh my god, the music. I was thinking of the beginning scene where Steve Buscemi's bowling, because they're like the whole and another overarching plot line throughout the movie is that they're a part of a bowling team, like they're in a bowling rec league or something like that, and so they're like going to semifinals. There's this weird sexual child predator character called, oh Jesus, I thought his name was Angel for a second. I was like, oh man, because I thought it was like something really Spanish and like Mexican. And it is. So it's Jesus, and so like they have this like really crazy character that is bowling in the league. That's kind of like their enemy. You know what I mean? Well, that leads to Walter having a really funny line of dialogue where he's like, "Yep, dude, 8-year-olds, dude." He's oh my god, oh my god. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just repeating inside jokes. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go watch it. It is 2 hours, but it is I won't say it passes by quickly, but you don't really you're not looking at the clock. Honestly, I feel like you get your money's worth. You get entertained for all the time that every character's on screen and everything that happens. There are times I think where I was like sort of what's happening, like what's going on here, and I like dream sequences and like um just sequences in general where I was just unsure what was happening, and that was about, I want to say, an hour and a half into the movie, maybe like an hour and 15 or something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I felt this hadn't felt like an hour and 15, but it did feel like I wasn't sure where we were going. Like, is this like a weird wrap up sequence that like I'm like unsure of or something like that? But um the music in this movie is absolutely fantastic too. It reintroduced me to "The Man in Me" by Bob Dylan. I forget which other movie I saw that in, but I was like, this is so good. And then I saw the dream sequence with the dude bowling and everything, and like the over the city lights and everything. It's really charming. It's really beautiful, super dope. But "The Man in Me" by Bob Dylan is playing for that, and it's really like, I mean, it makes the movie. Honestly, it's so iconic. And then there's also the scene, ironically enough, I was just talking about the Jesus character when he's bowling. There's like a cover of Hotel California, like some sort of Breaking Bad Spanish New Mexico-ish like take on it, you know what I mean? um And so like there's that playing, and then there's a really funny moment when the dude is like on a taxi on like a cab ride back, and he like has, and there's like the Eagles playing or something, and he's like, dude, can you stop playing that, man? I'm not a really big fan of the Eagles, man. And he gets kicked out of the cab for it. And it's just another one of those things where it's just another one of those movies where I feel like, yeah, I try not to complain about like plot and stuff like that, because like you don't really have to have like a plot for a movie to be good. It can just be a good sequence of events that you see, you know what I mean, or like a good, or like great characters, great dialogue. And I think that although I am super interested in the plot of this movie, what makes it special are the characters and like the lines they deliver and the way they interact with each other. It's I think it's just genius all around. Like laughs, 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 like full heart laughs every time I watch this movie. Love the characters in it, love the acting in it. I think I watched Surf's Up not too long ago, and one of the characters in it, I believe Zuka, not Zuka, Big Z, the surfer that is that teaches uh Cody everything he knows, Shia LaBeouf's character about surfing, was actually Jeff Bridges, the dude. And so it's like, oh man, that makes sense. He was such a chill, laid back character, and everything is all about sort of like letting the wave ride you and stuff. And I was like, oh man, so Jeff is just known to play like these killer, laid back roles and stuff. And I actually saw a comment on either the Hive Mind video or like another video where Jeff Bridges talks about his performance in The Big Lebowski, where people were like, yeah, the upcoming roles he had, or like the previous roles he had leading up to the Big Lebowski, were all like intense, explosive characters, and so this was like a good way to not get typecasted and really, you know, show your chops as an actor. And yeah, man, he did it. The dude is such, again, not a character that it is a character that I see myself in, and I probably shouldn't, and I'm probably I probably should work more on that to not be like letting stuff sort of happen to me. But I mean, I always stupidly brag about that, about like getting lucky, just life really working out for me and not really having to try too hard, and stuff just sort of goes my way and stuff. Obviously not without fucking faults and challenges and like downsides, and like, you know, like, I mean, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows, gang. But I don't know, just the idea of like this character just like weaving, or like like what's the right word, like just carelessly dancing through life, and just the hilarious sequence of events that ensue are just super entertaining. And I really recommend you go watch the movie. The Big Lebowski is hilarious, Jeff Bridges hilarious, the dude hilarious, Walter hilarious, Steve Buscemi hilarious, Maud Balowski, that's tough. Even Philip Seymour Hoffman, who I didn't talk too much about because his character sort of plays a minor role, but steals the show whenever he's on screen, you know what I mean? Plays like a really worried butler type character. Really a lot of respect for I mean, not so much has respect for other characters as much as is a pretty submissive like butler type. So like he is constantly addressing the dude as the dude. It's really cute because it's like the millionaire Lebowski doesn't address him as such. He calls him Jeff or Sir or stuff, and then like just seeing Philip Seymour Hoffman play like this really like antsy, I want to say pathetic. I gotta stop saying pathetic when people are just like kind of like sad. I feel like it's a better, like more intense word, but it's kind of like messed up to say someone's pathetic. But he really does play like this really submissive role of like an assistant, and it adds for a lot of hilarity and again comic entertainment in between his and Jeff's character. Yeah, 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 absolutely love it. Love White Russians. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Milk. Seeing even the clothes in this movie are fantastic. The direction, like the shots and everything. Like it starts off with a shot of like a supermarket, and you see the dude going and sniffing half and half because he that's what he drinks for like that's what he uses to make the White Russian cocktail and everything. And there's even that scene when the dude is first or the second time the dude meets with the millionaire Lebowski, and it's to talk about the ransom note that they got that eventually ended up being fake and stuff. But the ransom note that they got, and like you get this amazing scene with I think Flight of the Bumblebee or like some orchestral like string song, like really intense. sort of musical piece composition, and you get like this really intense shot of or scene of consisting of shots of the millionaire Lebowski at a fireplace, like in this dimly lit red, almost not red, but like this library type room, really dark, and there's intense music playing, and then like there's like the crackling of the fire and the lighting on his face, and just I mean the dude's confusion throughout the whole thing. I mean it does kind of get one note, honestly, a little bit, you know, just like the what's it called, the dude constantly just being confused and being like, what, man, I don't know, like, you know, I can see the argument for people being like, oh, he's not an interesting character, but I just love it, and I just think it works super well, and it adds like a lot of hilarious elements. There's a lot of moments where you just like want to go back 5 seconds and like, oh, let me catch that again, like, oh, what did he say, or like, I mean, just I can't praise the dialogue in this movie enough. It's so funny. It's so engaging. It's so, I mean, I wouldn't say real, but like a lot of the interruptions and stuff that they have, and the like sort of talk that Walter has with um the dude's character, and the way like they care for each other and stuff. It's really fun. It's really fun. It's really, I mean, captivating, engaging, interesting, funny, man. Please watch The Big Lebowski. I think it's hilarious. I'm pretty sure I gave it like, I wanted to give it 5 stars on Netflix, or I mean on Letterboxd, but I was like, I don't know, if somebody was like The Big Lebowski isn't a flawless movie, I wouldn't like super argue with them. I think I personally like super love it, but then again, bias and everything like that. Just check it out, will you? Okay, that's it for this movie. New Film Friday. Jesus Christ, I was gonna say new movie Monday. What the hell am I talking about? Thanks for tuning in. Please go check it out if you haven't already. It's on Netflix. I've been recommending it to everybody. I think it's very well worth it. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of like 2 hour long movies, but I mean honestly, this one's worth it. Okay, I gotta stop saying honestly. Whatever, watch the movie. Don't let me know what you think about it. Don't check it out. Check out my last video. Check out the next video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. It's, all the videos that come out and shit. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.